several sessions, we're going to be looking at other character qualities of the spiritual leader.
在接下来的这几堂课中，我们会要谈到做一个属灵领袖的其他方面的品质。
Particular qualities that I think are important for someone in leadership.
特别是那些作为一个领袖，他必须要具有的一些品质。
But in this particular session, I want to talk about our uniqueness.
在今天这堂课里，我要谈到我们的独特性。
I believe that God's anointing on our lives comes when we are doing what we were specifically created to do.
我相信，如果我们按照神所造我们的这个特殊性去行事为人的话，神的恩膏就会涌出来。
God has placed gifts in you.
神将恩赐加给你。
God has made you the kind of person you are.
神造你就是你今天这个样子。
And God will use you uniquely.
神也会按照你这个样子特别的来使用你。
And there are things in your life and that God has done.
在你的生命中有神所已经完成的事情。
He hasn't done in other people's lives.
那么这些事情也许是他在别人身上没有做。
And it's out of those things that you have the ability to minister.
也就是因此你有能力来去服侍其他的人。
We were sharing this morning about your daughter and how God has used her to reach many people for Christ.
今天上午我们分享到一位弟兄的女儿，神是如何使用她去给众人传福音的。
And each one of us, God's done something unique in.
在我们每个人的生命里面，神做了不同的工作。
And we have a testimony for the Lord.
我们每个人都有不同的见证。
And I have discovered that it's in our uniqueness that we are used the greatest.
我发现我们被使用最多最大的地方，就是我们的独特之处。
I've mentioned to you a couple of times the book that I read From Good to Great.
我跟你们提过2-3次，我读到过一本书，就是从良好到优秀。
About the companies that were doing good, and then all of a sudden they began to do very well.
就是那些公司本来业绩还可以，但突然间它增长很快。
And one of the things about those companies that the researchers discovered was this.
那么在做调查研究的人员当中，他们发现在这些公司里边
Was that they were very focused in what they did.
就是他们对做的事情非常的集中。
And they discovered their uniqueness.
他们也发现了他们的特殊性。
And their uniqueness was in what their passion was and what they did best.
他们的特殊性就是他们所感兴趣的地方，他们做得最好。
And it's in that uniqueness that God uses us as well.
也就是这种特殊性，神也大大的来因此使用我们。
Now, yesterday we talked about core values.
昨天我们谈到了核心价值。
Today I want to mention to you what I call distinctives.
今天我要跟大家谈谈我所称之为的这个独特性。
A distinctive is something that is unique about us, that is different about us from others.
这个特殊性，也就是我们独有的，而别人不具有的。
And you need to identify what it is that is unique about you.
你要发现你在你身上的特殊性是什么。
What it is that God uses you uniquely in.
神是怎样来用特别的方式来使用你的。
And if you will identify those things.
如果你能找出你的特殊性。
And place your focus on those ways that God especially uses you.
而集中精力来使用神所赋予你的这些特殊的地方。
You will find that God will begin to use you in a tremendous way.
你就会发现神会大大的来使用你。
So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about,
给你举个例子，告诉你我说的是什么意
I'm
思。
going to give you 5 distinctives about our ministry.
我告诉你，我们的事工中有5个独特性。
Now, these are 5 things that I have identified as unique about us.
这也就是我发现我们与别人不同的5个地方。
And I've discovered as I put my focus in these areas,
我发现，如果我们集中精力在这5个地方来做的话，
that God really uses me.
神就能够很好的使用我们。
And now this is not something that I wrote up and said, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
这不是我最近写下来，这是我们要做的事情。
But after I had walked with God for many years,
而是在我与神同行很多年以后，
I began to identify a pattern in which God was using me.
我发现有一个规律，就是神如何能够更好的使用我。
And that pattern became what I call the distinctives of our ministry.
那个规律我就叫做我们事工的特殊性。
And that's the you will have distinctives in your ministry and your work.
那么你也在你的事工和你的生命当中有你的特殊性。
Okay, here are the 5 that are our distinctives.
这里是我们事工当中的5个特殊性。
First,
第一，
we do worldwide evangelism by partnering with local churches.
我们通过跟当地教会合作，做全球的福音事工。
This produces long-term results, and it's cost-effective.
这样来做的话，能够使事工具有最大限度的有效性，并且能够节省很多经费。
Let me explain to you what I mean by that.
让我来解释一下我说的是什么意思。
I don't go to a country and try to do evangelism.
我去一个国家，不单单只是为了要去开一个福音布道会。
I go to a country when there are local churches that feel that the gifts that God has given me will be used in their country.
我要去那些国家，他们觉得神给我的这些恩赐能在他们的地方是派得上用场。
And we have a true partnership.
我们有一个真正的合作关系。
Now, by that partnership, this is what I mean.
靠着那合作关系，这就是我所要指的意思。
They come up with the strategy.
他们来定一个策略，
They produce the follow-up.
他们来进行跟踪。
We don't go into the country and say, okay, this is the way that you must do it.
我们不去教会，我们不去那个国家去告诉他们，这是你应该要做的。
If we're in agreement that the basic thing that we're doing is what God wants,
如果我们都同意我们所做的这一切是神要我们去做的话，
then we go in and we partner with those people.
我们就去到那个国家跟他们进行合作。
Let me give you one example.
让我给你举一个例子。
I went to Egypt 3 years ago
3年前我去了埃及，
and preached the largest meeting I preached anywhere in the world.
在那儿我开了一个我一生开过最大的一
But
个
what
福音
happened
布道
when we
会
went。to Egypt was this.
但是在埃及所发生的事情是这样的：
A colleague of mine went to Cairo,
我的一个同事去了开罗，
and he went because someone was encouraging him. Sammy needs to go to Egypt. Sammy needs to preach in Egypt.
因为有人鼓励他说，田撒麦要去埃及传道，田撒麦要去埃及开福音会。
So he went and met with the Egyptian leaders
他去了，他就跟那埃及的领袖见了面，
and explained how I had preached various evangelistic meetings in other nations.
跟他们解释我在其他国家是如何传道开福音会的。
And then the Egyptians said, well, you know, here in Egypt, we cannot meet in a stadium.
埃及人说：“你看，在我们国家，我们不可能在体育馆进行开这个福音会，
So we have a different way of working.
所以我们要用不同的方法来做这件
And
事
the
情。
way we work is that we have a
那么
network.
我们来做这件事情的方法就是网络联
And we
系。
have close to 600 churches in that network.
那么在这次网络联系当中，我们联系了600多
And
个
so
教会
what。we do is, if Sammy is willing to come, he will preach in one church and we will film him.
我们是这样做的：如果田撒麦能够到我们一个教会来讲道的话，那么我们把他的讲道制成录像，
And we will take that video and reproduce 600 copies of it.
那么我们将把那本录像制作成600份录像带。
And the next morning, people will go by plane, train, bus, car to all over Egypt and to 625 churches.
第二天早上，各个教会的同工会把这些袋子通过飞机、火车、汽车运到625所不同的教会当中去。
And every church will have an evangelistic meeting inside their church.
那么通过这样的做法，每一个教会都会有一个福音布道会，像这样
And
一样。
so that's what we did.
这就是我们所做的。
Instead of doing it the way we normally do it,
与其是按照我们通常的方法去做，
they had the strategy and they had the plan.
他们定了策略，他们定了计划，
And it worked effectively.
并且行之有效。
In fact, there were 120,000 people every night that listened to the gospel inside churches.
事实上，每晚大概有12万人都听到了这次福音会。
And it was very interesting because in one village,
有趣的是，在一个小村庄，
there was a church that had a communication center.
有一个教会，有一个广电中心，
And they tuned every television set in that village. It was a village of about 20,000 people.
在那所有2万人的村庄里，他们把电视的天线调好。
And they tuned it to the antenna in that communication center.
他们把在广电中心上设了一个大的天线，
So that every night, the only thing people could watch on television in that village was the evangelistic meetings that we held.
所以每晚村庄的人所能看到的节目就是我们这个福音会。
And God did an incredible work there.
神在那里做了大大的工作。
And for follow-up, they had cell groups. They had trained cell leaders in all of the churches.
那么作为跟踪的服事呢，他们在每一个小组教会当中都
And
训练
within
了小组教会的
72
领袖。
hours after a person made a commitment, they were introduced to a cell group.
在一个人决志信主的72个小时之内，他们并有人介绍他们进入小组教会。
And as a result of that, we saw over 20,000 people come to Christ and get involved in cell group.
结果是有2万人来归主，并且2万人都进了不同的小组教会。
You see, that was their meeting, not our meeting.
你看，那是他们的聚会，而不是我们的聚会。
That was their strategy, not our strategy.
那是他们定的策略，不是我们定的策略。
So when we go to a nation,
所以，当我们去一个国家的时候，
we develop partnerships with the people in that nation.
我们是跟那些国家的弟兄姊妹建立一个合作关系。
And the strategy does not come from us.
策略不是由我们来定，
The strategy comes from them.
策略是由他们来定。
And it's in that partnership that we're able to effectively reach many people with the gospel of Jesus Christ.
也就是借着我们这个合作关系，我们才能最有效的
So,
使那个国家和那
Building
个地区的人
partnerships
听到主耶
in
稣的福音。
nations is one of the distinctives that we have.
所以，建立合作的关系是将福音传遍世界各国的一个行之有效的方法。
The second distinctive
那么，第二个特殊
is
性
we go to difficult places.
就是我们去那充满艰辛的地方。
One of the ways God has used us uniquely
神使用我们的一个独特的方面就是，
is to go into countries that are torn with war.
就是去那些被饱受战争煎熬
I
的国
went
家
into。Burundi when there was a war taking place
我在布隆迪发生战争的时候到过那儿，
and preached the gospel, and we saw God move in a mighty way.
那么跟那些饱受战争创伤的人传福音，神大大的工作。
Just recently, I was in the Congo,
就是最近我去了刚果，
where the whole country was devastated because of war.
整个国家因战乱饱受创伤。
The city that I was in the last year has had war break out 4 times in the last year.
我去的那个城市，就去年1年发生了4次暴乱。
But I've never had a welcome anywhere in any city like that city.
但是我去那个城市是我受欢迎最激烈的一个地方，
God moved in a mighty way.
神大大的工作了。
So one of the unique things, or distinctives about our ministry is that we go to the difficult places.
所以我们事工的一个独特性就是我们去那非常艰苦的地方。
The third thing,
第3件事情，
prayer is the foundation of all that we do.
祷告是我们所做一切的基础。
Now, I've already talked about that a lot, so I'm not going to spend much time on it.
我已经花了很多时间谈到了祷告是做一切的基础，所以我不用谈多
But
了。
we believe that that's one of the unique ways in which God uses us
但是这也是神使用我们的一个独特性之一，
to really set the church to pray.
使教会能够勤奋祷告。
We believe that if the work of God is going to be accomplished,
我们相信神的工作是能够被成就的，
it must be accomplished in the power of God.
是必须要在神的能力中来成就。
So we make prayer a foundation of all that we
所以
do.
我们要使祷告成为成就一切的基础。
A fourth distinctive
那么第4件独特的地方就是，
is that we are bound more to God than we are to our vision.
就是我们要跟神更加的亲密，而不是跟我们的意向更加的亲密。
Now, this one is a very difficult one to explain.
这个是比较难解释一点。
But I'm going to be talking about flexibility in another session.
我在下一课我要谈到灵活度的问题。
And the spiritual leader is one who is led by the Spirit.
属灵领袖是靠圣灵引导的那一位。
And so what we have tried to do is this.
我们要做的就是
Is to make sure that we're going before God every day.
就是我们要走在神的前面。
And we don't want to get bound to the vision.
我们不要受到自己所谓的意向的限制。
Even if it's the vision that God has given.
哪怕这个意向是从神来的。
We want to be bound to God.
我们要和神紧紧的联系在一起。
Because there are times and moments when God will lead us to a particular place to do something very unique.
因为在某些时候，神会要带领我们去特别的地方去做特别的事情。
For instance, most of the time what I do is conferences for leaders like this or evangelistic meeting.
比如我所做的大部分的这个事工，就是带领一个布道会，或者做一个领袖的培训。
And that's the vision that I have is training leaders, encouraging leaders, and then preaching the gospel.
所开的这些会议就是来鼓励领袖、培训领袖。
And year after year, month after month, that's what I do.
所以年复一年，月复一月，这就是我经常
But
要
in
做的。
1997, I was at a conference where I met Ron Johnson.
1997年，我在一次会议当中遇见了狼。
And Ron publicly said, I want to challenge Sammy Tippit to go to Iran and pray.
狼向我发出了挑战，说你应该要去伊朗开一个这个布道会。
And I was sitting there and saying, what?
我坐在那儿说什么？
And we talked afterwards.
我们事后聊到，
And the Lord began to speak to my heart.
神开始在我心里面说话。
I want you to go to Iran.
他要我去伊朗，
Not to preach.
不是去讲道，
Not to hold a conference.
不是去开什么会议，
Just to pray.
就是去祷告。
And so we went with a group of 10 people.
所以我们跟10个人一起去了。
And for 10 days, we just walked the streets and prayed for the nation, for God to work in the nation of
在这
Iran.
10天当中，我们就每天在伊朗的街上行走祷告，为着伊朗的人民，为着伊朗的国家。
Now, you see, that was not a part of my program.
你看，那不是在我的计划中的一部分，
That was not a part of my vision of what I do.
那也不是我的意向。
But I want to be open to God if He says, go and do this at this moment.
而我要对神的计划敞开，神告诉我去那儿做那样的事情。
So we're bound to God more than we are to our
所以
vision.
我们要跟神紧紧的连在一起，而不是要被我们的意向所缠累。
And then the fifth distinctive that we
我们事
have
工所有的第5个独特性，
is that our history positions us for the future.
是我们事工的历史决定了我们的未来。
Because we have a history of many, many years going into difficult places in the world.
因为我们去世界各地非常艰苦的地方，
That puts us in a position to minister in a great way in the future in difficult countries.
所以那样的机会就造就了我们能够去艰苦的地方侍奉其他的
During
人。
the days of communism,
在共产主义的地方，
when it was difficult for Christians,
就是那些对基督徒有着严峻
I
考
was
验的日
going
子。
for many years into those countries and preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ.
我不住的去那些地方为当地的基督徒们祷告。
We've gone into countries in Africa that have been war-torn,
我也经常去那个非洲饱受战争煎熬的非洲，
and we've preached the
我
gospel.
们传了福音，
And we've learned how to go into those difficult
我
situations.
们学会了如何在那些艰苦的地方侍奉。
And we've developed relationships
我们跟当地的人建立了关系。
that I think puts us in a position to go into the future.
我认为那种合作关系是我们能够进入到一个未来事工做准备的一个更好的位置。
So we've listed these things as the distinctives in our
所以
ministry.
我们把这几样事情列成了是我们事工的独特性。
And we try to place our focus there.
我们要将我们的重点放在这些地方。
Now, these aren't the only things that we do,
当然这不是我们所做的全部，
but these are the primary things.
但是这是我们所做的重点。
And we try to keep our focus where God is uniquely using us.
我们要集中精力去做神造我们独特、使我们独特的地方。
Now, your focus is not my focus.
那么你的重点和我的重点有不同的。
And your focus may not be the same focus as the person sitting next to
那么
you.
你的重点可能跟你旁边所坐的那位的事工重点也不同。
There's something unique about you.
那么关于你的独特性，
God will use.
神会使用。
You need to identify those
你必
things.
须要找到你的独特性是什么。